Well, welcome to the podcast this week, heroes. This week, I am very much looking forward to T-minus 2 days from now, getting to go with my family to Thanksgiving camp. We started doing this tradition just a couple of years ago. And before Thanksgiving camp, I have to say, Thanksgiving was not my favorite. Sometimes, especially when we were hosting, I would get a little stressed out. I would get a little bit of feelings about having people over and the people that were over and arguments that would happen and things like that. I'm sure none of you know what I'm talking about because all of you get along 100% with your family all the time, especially your extended family that you see once a year, right? All of you have the same political leanings. All of you voted for the same person in the last election, right? Probably not. So, thus entered the amazing era of my life called Thanksgiving camp. Now, my wife and I, when we were very poor and young, which goes hand in hand a lot of times, we got married once upon a time, almost, 25 years ago now. And so what happened was we went and got married at her camp that she was a counselor at for years up in Washington State in Gold Bar. It's called Camp Houston. And it was amazing. There's this outdoor chapel and, it was open on all sides and we had beautiful fields of flowers and like just whatever you're thinking of, the stereotype of like this amazing outdoor wedding experience, like at a camp, it was that. All of our friends slept in the dorms and the cabins and it was just a fantastic time. So a lot of good memories for me at this camp as well, even though I was never a camper there. I was never actually a counselor there or anything like that. Our kids have since gone there for years as well. It is a wonderful, wonderful place, Camp Houston. If you're in Washington State and you ever need to send your kids to a camp, it's amazing. But we started going to every year, they offer this Thanksgiving camp. And here are the things that I love about it. You drive at camp on Thursday late afternoon. You get there. You check into your dorm rooms, which are super rustic and awesome. And there's a great room in each of the cabins or dorms with a big fireplace. And there's plenty of wood and there's hot cocoa packets forever. And there's hot cider and all kinds of great stuff. And there's a crackling fire and you can just read your book or take a walk outside or go on one of the many hikes around that area down to a stream or anything like that. But then you all have Thanksgiving dinner that night together. And you all help set the tables, and there's families from all over the state and out of state as well. And there's this big kitchen and everybody helps. And then you all sit down and you have a meal together. And then the cleanup is really fast as well. They have a pie table that exists for all 3 days of Thanksgiving camp where there is 24-hour pie. I'm not kidding. This is not a lie. There is pie available to you. Many, many different kinds of pie, 24 hours a day. And I do take advantage of the 24-hour pie table. In fact, the last several years, we have several families that go as well that we know and we've become good friends with. And there's a family in particular that we're very close with here as well, like in town where we live. And we have started having a themed pie eating contest, like family contest with each other each year. We've had different themes, and this year we're really hoping to bring home the crown. Myself, my daughter, and my son feel like we can put away some pie, and we're gonna do that this time. So I'm very much looking forward to the end of this week. And have you ever had the thing that happens to you where when you're really looking forward to something and you're right near the finish line, that seems to be when stuff it seems like jumps out of nowhere to kind of block you from being able to do the thing you want to do. Or if not block you, maybe just make it a little bit harder to get to the finish line and make it seem like it's taking a lot longer. I don't know about you, but this happens to me. It's probably in my brain, more than likely is. We all know we tell ourselves stories about things. I definitely have a story about this one. And that has definitely been happening for me this week. Anyone that's in business or a business owner, business leader, entrepreneur, solopreneur, whatever, you know that there are times when clients become non-responsive, especially if you're in the industry that I'm in with marketing, video production, stuff like that. We also have the well-worn theme of hurry up and wait in the entertainment industry. And nothing could be more true this time of year. And I don't know why I let myself get grumpy about it, because it happens like clockwork every single year. So I don't know why I decide to get grumpy about it. And so I'm trying to change that, because my wife pointed it out to me a couple of days ago. She's like, this is that time of year where you get grumpy, because clients that have gone dark on me, they have, maybe for the last 3 months, I've been trying to help them get a project started or finished, or we're in the messy middle and I can't get them to respond to client notes and things like that because they're busy and they have lots of stuff to do. There's always good reasons why things aren't moving along, but I want my project to move forward and get finished, so we can keep cash flow and employees paid and all that kind of stuff. And so every time, this time of year, right before Thanksgiving, up until the end of the year, is when all of a sudden, out of the woodwork, come all of the clients who have been radio silent for months, now come to you, and they want you to get everything done now because they realize that they have waited till the last moment, and that after Thanksgiving, there's a week or so of productivity, and then maybe a week, if you're lucky, a week and a half in December. And then all of a sudden people are going on vacations for all kinds of different holidays and celebrations and New Year's and all that kinds of good stuff, which is super fun. But this happens every single year. And I don't know why I allow myself to get into a place where I get grumpy. And so I'm trying to purposefully make that not happen this year by remembering the things that I'm grateful for before Thanksgiving. As I'm going through this, remembering this is amazing. I am working from home. Yes, I am trying to help a client right now that feels entitled to get everything done right now, because even though there's only 24 hours or 48 hours until I'm on vacation, and I might have to have a conversation with them, but I don't have to choose to be grumpy about it. Look at this amazing office that I'm working out of. Look at this amazing business that I've built. I'm going to help this client. We're going to figure it out. They might not get it done exactly when they want it done because of the fact that they waited too long. And sometimes you need to have an educational, slightly uncomfortable conversation with a client and let them know that, hey, I know it sucks that you waited this long, but here we are, and I'm not canceling plans to get your project over the finish line. So here's what we can do. And those conversations are going to happen in any business, but you can still maintain gratitude while you're doing those sorts of things. The fact that I have a business where I get to have slightly uncomfortable conversations from well-paying clients is pretty awesome. I used to work in a very different environment where I showed up and I didn't have much power and much say over when I worked and when I didn't work and what clients I had and how much I made. And that's not the case anymore. So I'm very, very grateful for that, because there's always going to be problems that come with any sort of job, especially if you are running the show. There's going to be more problems, I would argue, because there are more decisions to make when you're leading. There are more ways that you could screw up and that you will screw up. You can still choose to be grateful while you're going through even the times that suck. So I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving camp to come all the way back around to this. And one of the things I love about our family, and we have brought this tradition with us to the camp, is we have something that my wife introduced probably 10 or 11 years ago now, maybe even longer. And it is the Thanksgiving Gratitude Bowl. And some of you may have a tradition slightly like this as well. If you don't, I want to offer it to you because it can really help if you are having a Thanksgiving dinner where people start to grouse, start to complain. I definitely have been at celebrations at Thanksgivings, things like that, where there may be one or two family members that for some reason it makes them feel comfortable and engaged when they are complaining about something that's wrong. Might not be something that's wrong at the event itself. It's just like politics or something that happened at the doctor's office or their car or a family member or, talking about other people in a not great way. And so the gratitude bowl can be a really, really nice tool to start conversations about what you're actually thankful for. And you don't have to wait until the meal. It's just a simple wooden carved bowl. And there's these little tiny things. I think one's shaped like an acorn. One is shaped like a little maple leaf. They're just these little pieces of carved wood that each person gets, one. And during the evening, you can put one of those tokens, one of those little pieces of wood in the bowl, and talk about some things that you're grateful for. Some things you're grateful for right now, some things that you were grateful for about this last year that happened to you, people that you're grateful for in the room or who maybe aren't in the room. It's a wonderful way to shift the mindset from grumpiness, from complaining, from grousing to actually being thankful. It's what the whole holiday is for, right? For those of us that celebrate Thanksgiving in the US or in Canada, or have events that are like this as well, that are gratitude themed celebrations, which a lot of different cultures have. But the Thanksgiving Gratitude Bowl, I want to offer that to you if you are going to have a Thanksgiving dinner that you're going to. You can bring it with you. It can be, you don't have to have a fancy bowl. Just grab a bowl out of your cabinet. I swear it'll still be effective, and have people put toothpicks in, like a colored toothpick, and say what they're grateful for. You can keep it really, really simple. Another game that some of you might be familiar with, we do this one probably 2 or 3 times a week when we're eating together at the dining room table, throughout the week. So we don't sit down. We're not one of those families that has a hard and fast rule that every night we sit down and have dinner together with all the sports and the activities and all the things that we're all up to. It doesn't happen every night. But when it does, and we're all sitting at the dinner table, we like to play, especially my daughter, because she's usually the one that reminds us all to play. We like to play Rosebud Thorn. And if you haven't heard of this game, it's super easy. It's very similar. So each family member or each member or person around the table says, "Hey, Rose." They say something that they're really grateful for that happened today. Probably the best thing that happened to them that day. What was the highlight of their day? That's their rose. And then the bud is something that they're looking forward to. Maybe it's tomorrow. Maybe it's that evening. Maybe it's next week. Maybe it's next month or several months down the road, but something that they're really excited and looking forward to. So you have rose and bud, and then the last one is thorn. So you still get a chance to say, tell people about something that maybe didn't go so great that day. Get a little bit of support. Get a little bit of, get a hug if something didn't go that well. If a test didn't go as well as one of my kids wanted it to, or something else happened at school, or they had an argument with a friend. Like, it's a good way for them to be able to surface something they might want a little bit of support on. And it's a way to frame things like that in gratitude, rose, bud, and thorn, because the thorn is really just one part of it, right? There are 2 other very positive things that are going with that as well. Something that actually was wonderful and happened today, or that you appreciated today, something you saw, you appreciated, and something that you're looking forward to. So the gratitude definitely outweighs what may have not gone so well that day as well. So that's something that you can use all the time. If you don't have the bowl, you can use Rosebud Thorn and just be bold. Just start the game and just peer pressure people to play it, and then have people go around the table and do it. You'll get a couple eye rolls, I'm sure. Who cares? In the end, everyone's going to feel better for having talked about creating that energy where people are talking about what they're grateful for and what's good, instead of concentrating on what's bad. Because you can always find negative. You can always find what needs to be improved. But let's center some time around what's great, what's working well. What are you grateful for? That's the kind of energy that I'm definitely going to go into this holiday with, and that I would invite you to go into it as well. So Thanksgiving camp, I'm very much looking forward to it. The stuffing there is amazing. 24 hours of pie. I'm definitely going to be doing that. It's good that with my weightlifting regime right now, I am officially on a bulk, which is where I lift heavier weights more often and also consume an excess of calories on purpose in order to build muscles during the holidays. So big baggy sweaters are my friend right now. And I'm going to be having quite a bit of that pie. It's going to be some turkey sandwiches the next day as well in order to round out those calories. So I am very, very grateful for all of you. And I wanted to say that out loud. It's been 88 episodes. And for anyone that's been listening and has gotten something out of this, even from 1 or 2 episodes, it all seems worth it. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for listening and watching, and also for coming along on the journey with me as I get better at this. And as I hopefully am coming up with topics and things that help you to grow your business, that help you to live the life that you want to live outside of your business and personally as well. Thank you for the opportunity to be a person that's with you on your story and with you on your hero's journey to root you on, as hopefully that mentor. So, my friends, have a fantastic Thanksgiving if that's something you celebrate. If not, just have a wonderful week, and I wish you all the gratitude thoughts in the world. It will make you feel better, and it will be something that makes people want to be around you when you're cultivating that sort of energy. And I wish that for you and all the people that you're around. Now, if you want to do a little more of a deep dive on how gratitude can help you strategically and tactically with your business, check out episode 52, Cultivating Bursts of Gratitude. That's one that you might want to queue up if you're driving somewhere for Thanksgiving. Put that podcast in your ear. You might enjoy that one. That's episode 52. And other than that, my friends, have a fantastic week. Eat all of the turkey, if that's what you do. And I hope you can find your own 24-hour pie table. Talk to you next week, my friends. Bye for now.